Ebusia media justice na makwaba edebe justice media so mestre say video ya edahon ma yehwe bemam a minute na me de akyerekye ensem ba komienu bi e de akyero anyesa video ya wohwe na de abati ase omo ye hu omo ye African Americans o ma bagana hasi no mo a omo bagana hasi local choba ana omo akọ no mo koye ne kwan ye faso ewo fufu e kwan ye faso ka banku e kwan ya e faso e ka fufu e ne kwan ye faso etwi emuko ewo abotowie mu no ana busua omo ekọ choba ho no omo esua lady ya ono so choba ho no mu so anya abotra daje e de omo efa enkyerkyere emu no ebusua nya abotre na yenti emu nsem ba komienu bi na afi video aka no so no yenhwe ento asomra ebusua.
Easy for me to do, but we had a little bit of a tough time, but then with practice we find. I'm a very someone that likes it very spicy. Onion kind of make it not so spicy, so I don't like to include onion.
It's Audrey Hyman. I am from Maryland. I'm so happy to be here at Phil's Chop Bar. It was delicious. The staff was great. Everything was wonderful, and I hope to be back soon.
Thank you so much. See you again.
Obroni so yehuni ono so oyo broni ankasa a ofri America memu ano no so dia ba oman Ghana mu na de ono neti hono no so ye Ghana ni abrante sisi odi Ghana ni abrante na chi e dia ba oman Ghana mu a ono so eba bepe fufu edie na busia mesle se we nso nya abotre na yenti no mu asem ba komienu bi emra.
Where are you coming from?
America.
America. Is it your first time eating local food?
No, my second time.
Your second time?
Accra.
Okay, alright. So how's the experience like?
It was delightful.
You'd like to come back again?
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you so much for coming in.
See
you soon. Just in the mix.
Hi. We are at
Feels 94, yeah?
94. And we've been watching this place for like the past 3 months.
3 months.
In the States. Every day we're hitting like.
Wow.
And you're saying, you're back,
Ghana.
So now right here.
Right.
Said the Pia, I am a make Ghana for Subansem, make Ghana for Samoa will be at Babia. One Temasie, na Ghana for you Subai and acquire a fossil 30 yen, acquire a fossil yen near money at dinner. In fact, what chef you do at the Honomy and Bijidi said, a Pablo Nana, I shall serve video we see. A sounds at tea in Moonsem. Na swashe asanso etie mu nsem a ebia na won share da ente ensem o mo ka no asikyire yi na emum nyabotre na menka ensem ba komienu bi nso emfa video yi ho enkyerɛw ansa na ma play video yi ama won so wotie emu nsem yi pa na busua ye tie nya ne se on se Ghana for kwan ye fa so ye niema e kwan ya ye papa no e fa so tete yen ne kwan even do ye fa so edit tete ye ma ene ade no ye ade ya de papa pa awutum so broni we eba Ghana hase no mo wo bra na usua ano ne Stefan na neti ne so busua se ye tie video yi mu ensem a utimu se and tete any idea. Pagana has seen no papa de ne fair mu. E ne stepfather, what did the fair mu no? What mu say a shape ni yepa aboa ne yepa. Ne nya botre. Ba yenti ensamba akomienu bia omo woka. Ene said ye omo esi e kire Ghana fo enso suban ye niam bia ye said ye omo fe esifa ebusuan na botre na yehwe nsomra.
If you look at us, the first accent you expect to hear wouldn't be an African accent. But even I grew up at home with my grandfather saying, Hakim, come and eat some fufu now, you know?
The Ghanaians, they always say, hey, Charlie. I had a Ghanaian teacher in my school. And this teacher, every time, do you know what a day student is? Like a day student, boarding student?
Someone who doesn't stay at the school.
Yeah,
they just come
so
and go.
I was a day student because I didn't live in the school. So every time like school is over, we always used to like play Counter-Strike at school and everything. So when like school is over, the teacher was trying to send us away, and this is always what he says: "All the day students, away, away." Ah, man, that thing is too.
Hey, don't let him watch all these films. You know, Hakim, go and pass me my shoe now. And I hadn't been used to being spoken in such a kind of direct, orderly way like that. So yeah, when I was very young, it was hard, and there was back and forth, and we would, I guess, argue. But then as I got into secondary school, our bond strengthened so much. I had problems with teachers. Most people now know me as, the guy, he just worked for the UN. He graduated from, he has 2 degrees, university. They assumed that I was this like born academic. When in reality, I struggled a lot. And I would come home and vent. I don't need to study. The teachers are blah, blah, blah. And he would say, Hakim, you do not do this for the teachers. You need to study for yourself, for your future. It was such a pivotal moment in my life where if I hadn't listened to him there, I don't know where I would be now. Yeah, having these role models, positive black male role models in my life who were completely against what we were seeing on the media. Unfortunately, let's say the media narrative was portraying growing up that black equals hip hop, violence, all Hollywood movies were showing black people as, it was mainly African Americans, I guess we were seeing. But even on the TV in the UK, there's always kind of crime and negativity associated with blackness. But then at home, I had these educated, very positive, disciplined role models in my life who showed me that all of that stuff was rubbish. And there's a huge distinction that I think people need to make between black and African as well. Africa is a huge continent with a wide variety of cultures, linguistic diversity, appearance. There are a lot of people in Africa who look like me and people who look like you as well, Jack. So again, this whole kind of narrative that BAME, they call it in the UK, black, Asian, minority, ethnic, that we're all just clumped together. It just doesn't make sense. And a lot of the comments on our videos about Africa have been reminding us that when we say African, actually Africa is a huge continent. And there are very similar values of respect and discipline. And that translates into, I think, as we proceed in this discussion, it influenced me in a variety of areas. He was a Christian man, but would go to the mosque. He said they would teach him how to read and write in Arabic. And he would also fast with them during Ramadan. And I grew up again with those values of, okay, granddad, you're Christian. This part of my family is Muslim. But respect is the most important thing always. He would say to me, I don't understand why in England people need to fight. In Ghana, Eid and Christmas, they are both public, like national holidays. And on Eid, if there's food being shared around, they're not going to say no. It's something that I didn't believe was possible until I then went to Reunion Island later on in my life, which we did a whole video on. So there was that crossover there. Despite looking different to a lot of my family members on all sides, I never really felt that kind of marginalization or I never felt that with my African family.
That's fascinating. And actually, could you go a bit more into that? I'd like to know, how did your African family receive you?
So being half white, half Asian, there were times where around white people, as Matthias said in our episode on being half Korean, you do feel slightly like the outsiders sometimes, especially with people who are very proud. And of course, with Pakistanis, it was very evident. I don't speak the language well. I wasn't as aware of certain cultural practices. that I was the Gora. So with the whites, I was the Asian, or other words that I'm not going to say. And with the Pakistanis, I was always the Gora, which means the white man. So I was very sensitive from a young age about those differences and being seen as an other. Yet with my African family, I never actually felt that I was treated differently.